You know, when you look at it from here, you can kind of see the architecture, the design of what took that to this, right? You can kind of see it, but can you not? There is, however, outside of just the DNA that transferred from this to this, something significantly different with this. Now, on the surface, you may say, look, it's got big headlights here under these lights and they're not integrated. Okay, you could also say it's got a crystal spirit of ecstasy, or you could say that it has an actual stainless steel hood like your home refrigerator. The one thing this car has that most of you probably by the time I just did this intro didn't notice is it has something very, very, very rare and special, because this is not a Rolls-Royce drop head. That's right. All of you are probably like, what are you talking about? Well, if we go to the side here, this is my new Rolls-Royce Coupe. That's right. This is the same as a Rolls-Royce drop, but with an actual full roof. So you may not even know that this car exists, because it took me 6 months just to be able to locate one of these in good enough condition to buy that was black on black, which was the only thing I've ever wanted with those options. This is by far, in my opinion, one of the most iconic and necessary cars to discuss here at Exotic Car Hacks, and it's the latest arrival to the long-term collection. I love this car, and today on the channel we're going to take a little bit of time for me to share with you not only my passion about why I pursued this car, why I love it so much, but talk to you a little bit about why this specific car was so important and why it must absolutely, in every way possible, be cherished for years to come. You know, driving this car in itself has so much to discuss. I mean, there's so much going on. There's so much to really put out there. When I wanted to buy a 2010 Phantom, so let me just tell you a story. I wanted to buy a 2013, 2014 Series 2 version of this car. There is a $200K price difference if you can even find one, let alone the fact that the Series 2 has so few units out there that it's near impossible to even get one, no matter what color it is, as a coupe. Much easier as a drop head, because there's plenty of those for sale. But coupes are like the rarest variation of Phantom anywhere. But let's talk about the car itself, because this is going to be a longer review, because I hope that with this review, you will have an idea at least of not just what makes these cars so incredibly hard to get, but also what makes them special and not so cool. Now, I've done a review on my 2013 Series 2 Phantom, regular 4-door, and I've of course done multiple reviews of my existing Mansory Phantoms, but this car is something, because the old Phantom doesn't make sense if you have a new Phantom, because it's light years ahead, but this car makes sense because they don't make this anymore. So noticeably, the quality of the interior is, again, just like every other Rolls-Royce product, second to none, and no different than the actual 4-door. The only thing here, you have these cup holders that are absolutely terrible, meaning they're terrible, they're small, and they just have this little shitty leather tap on them, and it looks bad. You have your little infotainment here to play off of, and look, so this automatically opens. You see it opens here on top. And here's the number one issue with the infotainment is it's old. The Series 1 has Bluetooth for the phone. It does not have Bluetooth at all under any circumstance for the actual music. So you don't have Bluetooth music, but you have the radio, you have your CDs. You can probably get a Bluetooth adapter. We're gonna try one here later. The point being, you know, the dash is the same as the 4-door. The function is the same as the 4-door, but the vibe of this car is nothing like the 4-door. First off, it drives way better. It has more power, it's lighter, it feels like this is a Rolls meant to be driven, and it's a Phantom. And check this out. In here, you have all your seat controls, which is the weirdest place to put seat controls. And it was the same in the actual four-door, but you also have your starlight. You see that? Like all the stars turn on. And the starlight is amazing because it's really old, meaning like this is the original starlight that was kind of found with Rolls-Royce. So it's not as vibrant, as exciting, as hot as the new stuff, but it's still magnificent because of the size and how much of the roof it actually covers, which is all of it. Now, in addition to that, outside of the fact that you have your heated seats on the side and all your seat controls are in here, all your inside and dashes is just magnificent. Your steering wheel, very large and better padded than the four-door. I like it better. It seems a little bit softer, a little bit, you know, more usable. And just the driving, look, feel this. More power. It's not a fast car, but it has power and it's heavy, but it still runs and is smooth no matter what. Now we're sitting on 24-inch wheels, which has drastically improved this car. And I want to be clear, having wheels on Phantoms drastically improves the car for one reason. You obviously get a feeling of floating when it comes to Phantoms and the comfort and everything else. Maybe if you're in a taxi, that's great. But when I'm driving a car, I want to feel the road. Now I want to at the very least feel that I'm on the road, and I want to also feel like I'm not floating and I'm not about to hit a wall. So I really like lowering Phantoms and putting bigger wheels on them because you get a little bits of a smaller tire, but you still get the fat tire enough to avoid again like the vibration of the road, but you feel the road now more and the acceleration feels significantly more fun. Now, outside of the lack of Bluetooth on the inside, you're not missing much more. The stereo is amazing. Like, it's just very good. It's isolated properly. The speaker quality is high, despite it being a 2010, so no issue there. And then, of course, you have all these cool compartments, which we saw in the four-door too. Look, you have the phone here, and then you have a little cubby here. So you could put anything like cocaine.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.
There's also another cubby here for the smoking package, which is unnecessary. And then you have this, which was really cool in the actual four-door too. You have your Spirit of Ecstasy stuff, your trunk opener, and a little compartment there. And then you have your unders thing here, where again, you have more capacity again for storage. So, yeah, for what?
More dildos.
Yeah, more dildos. Okay, that's funny. Okay, you're learning comedy and sarcasm. I like it. Okay. Anyways, seats are comfortable. Drive dynamic is great. Button feel fantastic for 2010 period correct car. And just all around, my opinion, the coolest, most gangster driving and badass experience ever. It's not without its flaws. And I'm going to tell you what makes it really bad, because the Wraith, which came after this car, which was built on the Ghost platform, not on the Phantom platform, seems like a much smaller car than the Phantom, but yet the interior is significantly more roomy than this. Now, I'm not saying that the interior on that is more roomy in the sense that you can't use the back here, because this back bench is significantly large and again provides for amazing creature comforts once you're in. But there are things that are slightly different with the first Phantom that I think they really fixed with the Wraith that I wish they would have kind of fixed here specifically. Well, they didn't have the Wraith then, but I wish they would have kind of like had this in this car too, because that would make the car significantly more usable. And I'm going to show you these once we get to the office so you can kind of get a good vibe for it, what works or not. But my opinion, this is by far the funnest, most gangster, and most recognizable silhouette. As we discussed earlier in my office, one of the most recognizable silhouette of any car out there that screams you have money, or you're a drug dealer, or you're a mafia's hitman or a boss or whatever you want to call it. Because this, I get more thumbs up in this car. I get more holy shit, what is that, than I think any of my other cars. And a lot of people see the Rolls-Royce logo and they think it's brand new or modern or something, but it is just spectacular. So let's get back to my office and let's talk a little bit more about some of the quirks of this car and what doesn't actually work. And we can also discuss, of course, a little bit more about, you know, like the design and why it's so special. There is so much that makes the coupe special in so many different ways. First off, we fitted this with some amazing 24-inch wheels and it looks gangster as fuck. But take a look at just the lines on this car, because when it's fully out, you can truly appreciate not just the size, but just the architecture of this car is just amazing. The design. Look at how this line just comes together here, and how smooth this tail end here. It is just superb. I can't explain it. You have to see it. There's so much that goes into the coupe that really like hits you every single time you experience it. So first off, the stainless hood here continues into the brushed effect continues here, which is amazing. The door handles are steel, like some of these older ones, which is amazing. On the inside, some of the things I was talking about, and I want to point this out, you still get your umbrellas like all the other Rollses, so nothing, you know, unique here, nothing that hasn't been seen before. The doors really have to open for you to get a good gauge on like what's happening. I'm gonna explain why. Because if you don't have all this room, the experience is a little bit tainted. Here you even have, again, a cigarette holder right into the door, and then these come out, of course, for storage. The door handles are on top. This is actually where they got the new door handle designs on the Ghost, where they brought back this idea of the top handle design. So if you don't use these buttons like to close the doors, like the Cullinan, etc., this is where the handles are. And it's, again, superb. But the big difference between the Wraith and the Phantom that I was talking about earlier is not just the getting in position, which is a little bit awkward, because this, maybe it's that I'm a midget, but it's a little bit awkward that this sits that way. It's not as comfortable getting in and out, and you have very little room unless the seat goes all the way back, etc. But we can get to that in the functions, and before someone says, well, you can calibrate the seat so it comes in and out as you go. That part's fine. The part that I find difficult is not so much the front, is this. So this is notorious for destroying your chins. Getting in the car, the first thing you want to do is hit this, and it hurts. Now, don't ask me how I know this, because I was on the floor literally the first time I got the car, getting in the car, because I nailed my knee on that. This is bad. Like, just the design aspect of it is really bad. And yet this is better now because the car is lowered. But this was bad, and it's bad now. It was worse before. So this is something that's really, really bad, getting in and out of car, incredibly uncomfortable. Now, with the back seat, it's a little bit worse, and this is one of the things I wanted to point out. If you can get over that, the design is superb. Now, let's go to the trunk, because I think this is another not bad design. I think this is a superb design, and something that they should actually rethink of using in newer cars. So this is just a normal at first trunk, and you would expect it to open somewhere. You would press a button, and you would basically pull the trunk. But it doesn't work that way, and I want to show you this. The way the trunk looks is almost similar to some form of SUV, which I think is amazing. Look at this. Like, for a coupe, it's crazy. It's amazing. Good trunk space, not a lot, but good trunk space. Very attractive, very well done. You close it, soft close, of course, and there you are again. This has got to be the most intuitively beautiful design car, in my opinion, ever built from Rolls-Royce. It's exciting. It's a driver-based Phantom. Like, I've argued, I know a lot of people say the Phantom isn't as drivable, you need to be driven. This is still one of my favorite driving cars of all time, the Phantom. So I'm telling you, like, you can drive it. But this makes the driving experience make more sense, because it's just really a two-seater, but it's still sporty. It's not that fast, but it just works so well. And I adore it. I absolutely adore this car. I think it is superb in design. I think it is superb in ideology. I think it is superb with its features, its technology outside of the Bluetooth. And I think if you can get over how you get in it, everything else about it makes quite a bit of sense. Now, we've lowered it, like I said earlier, put wheels on it, and I've created, in my opinion, what I consider to be a masterpiece of design that works significantly better than a lot of other cars on the market. And I think this just works. It's beautiful, and I think as a result, it's now something that should be memorized. Now, if you want to buy one of these, you should know a couple of things. These cars are basically like most of them are 2009s and 2010s. And the majority of these cars, again, are going to be older. So as you look to buy these, just remember that really doing good pre-purchase inspection is going to matter. And a lot of them don't come with the functions like the stainless steel hood, the crystal, or some of the stuff. So values will vary significantly. But the average median price of these is between 180 and 250. So that's really where the values go, between 5,000 and 30,000 miles. And they are pretty reliable, generally speaking, and the quality is very high. So you just have to make sure, since materials are high and they're not plastic, they can get a little bit more expensive to fix and a little bit more difficult to get. That said, in my opinion, it is superb and should be in every real collector's garage because it's spectacular. So we tinted the windows, did the wheels. We're waiting on some clear markers to be not orange, but otherwise, this is something that I've chased for a while, that I finally brought to the collection, and I'm pretty excited to be driving it and using it for quite some time to come. So there you go. Let me know what you think. Do you think the 2010 Phantom Series 1 is really worth buying? Do you think the design is as iconic as I'm going all over it, sweating it? Do you believe that this should be remade by Rolls-Royce? Can you just imagine like this new masterpiece in a two-door format? It would just be crazy. So this is, in my opinion, the most baller thing you can buy from Rolls-Royce currently from a driving specification standpoint. Way more than a Ray for Dawn. It's larger, it's more fuck you, and it still bears the name Phantom, which, by the way, is ending next year. Apparently, they're no longer making a Phantom, so I'll be ordering a brand new final Phantom. And from there you have it. This is my Rolls-Royce Phantom Coupe review, and hopefully you will have more luck figuring out how to work the Bluetooth than I ever have. Otherwise, I will catch you guys next time for Exotic Car Hacks, and let me know in the comments what you think. But don't forget, the car market might be crazy, but hacking now is the most important thing you can do, learning the ins and outs of everything you need to do to be able to get the right car, of course, drive it, make some money, or at the very least, break even. Click the link in the description if you want to learn more, and don't forget our Black Friday sale is going live soon, so $97 memberships to Exotic Car Hacks are coming back. Click the link, I'll see you inside, and I'll catch you next time for Exotic Car Hacks.